campers, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. You can see in the background I do have a new ship getting designed. It's based on an older design we've already used, but that's okay. So, sorry this episode took so long to come out. I had a bit of footage get corrupted, which is why you're hearing a post-commentary from me right now while this ship is getting built in the background. We're just bolting on a goo canister to an older satellite for a new contract. But in the meantime, so some of the footage got corrupted. I finally managed to recover most of the episode. My introduction was completely lost, as well as going through the contracts and a couple of new mods that I added to the game. So we're going to be playing, we've got the Distant Objects Enhancement mod has been installed in this now, so you'll see that in effect once we get up into the up into low orbit. As well as we've also got a Planet Bases mod, which we've taken a contract from, but we've got like 10 years before we actually have to get that done. It's build a base on the moon. I'll show you some more of those parts once they become relevant, but for now we've still got a lot of stuff to unlock, so we're just doing some satellite contracts. Anyway, back to past me to explain the rocket we've got here. Alright, just wanted to show you the craft before we roll it out to the launch pad. You're going to notice it's pretty much identical to the satellite we launched last episode. That had more than enough Delta V to get it out to geostationary orbit, which means this is going to have well more than enough to get us out to Minmus orbit. In fact, it's going to have so much, I'm going to ditch the boosters, because I think this rocket will do just fine with these 3 stages. So let me just make sure I've got the stages set properly. Yeah, okay, that'll work. I think this rocket will do just fine with this. I think we'll be able to get it to I think we'll be able to get this to Minmus. Though I am going to include aerodynamics. Let's put a very small set of wings on this, just in case that winds up flying solo through the atmosphere. These wings down here should still be the primary aerodynamics surfaces, at least as long as this stage is attached. These are just to assist us in keeping this part stable if I wind up on this stage while still in the atmosphere, which is entirely possible. Though this part at least will get us into orbit, and then this can get us all the way out to Minmus. And yeah, let's go ahead and roll this out to the launch pad. Made a couple of tweaks on the top, of course. We had to add the goo canister. I also added a thermometer so we can get some science while we're up there, since this will be the first craft to pass by Minmus, so we want to get as much as possible. Let's go ahead and roll this out to the launch pad. Save. Launch. Launching in 3, 2, 1, fire. About to perform a very minor course correction that will bring us pretty close to our target orbit. So then all we'll have to do is capture, and then try to circularize at our periapsis, which we might have enough fuel to do. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. That looks good enough for me. Let's just see if the game likes that. That was success! Our satellite is successfully in orbit. Alright, let's check the contract complete. Woot! Alright, $131,202 gained, 11 science as well. That's arguably slightly more useful. Alright, now let's see what kind of science we can get from doing, well, science! First things first, let's go for a temperature scan. Log the temperature. I want to see this by, yeah. 226.15 Kelvin. Ugh. Measuring the temperature of space appears to be quite impossible. There's no matter around to be either hot or cold except the spacecraft, and the thermometer itself is probably going to give the R&D guys something to just think about for a while. Alright. Well, let's transmit that. That's 10 science and, you know, $50,000. Funds. Ding! Ooh, 3 extra science. Wonderful. And let's go ahead and get the goo while we're here. How are we on charge? Not bad. Goo feels right at home. That's only 7.5 science for that I get. Well, that's a little sad. That's okay. Let's do it anyway. Success. Don't retract your antenna. Put that back out. Put that back out. You. Extend. What data does it have? There we go. Okay. All synced up again. Antennas extended. Science obtained. And this little dude is pretty much done now. He'll just remain in orbit forever. That's okay. Did what he needed to do. We're going to kill the battery in the probe. Just in case we need this at some point, I want to make sure it's got power no matter what, so we're just going to kill the battery in the probe itself. The 2 on the outside will continue to work, so we will still be able to operate this if at some point we jump to it in the future and the solar panels aren't working for whatever reason. But, you know, sometimes that extra little bit of charge comes in handy. So let's head back to the Space Center. This is one successful mission, and let's see what more we can do for today. Okay, so our next mission in the game is going to be this. Landing on the moon with a Kerbal and planting a flag. Hopefully that will unlock missions to visit Minmus as well, because I would rather do Minmus. Minmus is much easier to return from, at least. Though all we need to do is plant a flag. We don't have to get back from the moon, though. Obviously, I want to get back from the moon. Let's do it. I think I can safely design a vehicle that can get to the moon and back with what we have. It's going to look ugly as sin on the launch pad, but you know. Welcome back. This is the craft that I have designed to get us to the moon and hopefully back again. Though that latter part's a little optional. I'm not going to be super heartbroken if whatever Kerbal winds up in this stays on the moon forever. Let's see. We do need to send a scientist, however, so Bob or Roger? Well, yeah, I think it should probably be Bob is the one who needs the prestige of being the first one on the moon. We do have a control module on here, so we do have SAS, and yeah, let's give this a shot. Nothing fell apart. That's a good sign. All right, stability on. Let's see, where is the moon right now? Where's the moon? There it is. Alright, cool. So we're not going to be launching straight into a moon intercept. We'll have an orbit to think about things before it gets super hairy. So let's go ahead and throttle up. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to go to the moon, so I'm not even going to count down. We're just going to launch. I've tilted the wings on these boosters so they should peel away from the spacecraft once I jettison them. How'd we do? 48 by 56? That's not bad at all. In fact, let's bring down our periapsis a bit. We might even go for the landing on this pass. You never know. I'm probably going to go for a landing on this pass, but let's do science first. Let's first crew report, make sure we got that. We didn't. Interesting. Transmit. EVA. Your report. Nice. Oh, right! The Kerbal I did this with died, didn't she? Oh, I remember that now. And feel kind of bad. Let's store the experiment while I'm here. Mirror board? Is that a different one? Store. Oh. Review report and reset. Review report. Reset. Okay, so we've got Highlands. Cool. Materials Bay. That should be a good one. And it is. Keep the data. Mystery Goo. Also pretty good. Keep that. Collect. Remove. Restore. Collect. Remove. Restore. EV report. Islands again. That's alright. Store experiments. Still Highlands. She's probably going to be Highlands for a while because we missed that crater. So let's get back aboard. How are we on power? Climbing again. Let's actually rotate some of our solar panels back into direct sunlight. Get quite a few of them into direct sunlight there. Yes, much better. Okay. Our battery's nice and charged. And yeah, I think we should go for a landing. Ideally very close to the Robo-Punch 1, if we can. Though, actually, I think I have enough Delta V to put us up near this site. Though I'm gonna have to wait a little while before I do that, like a month of Kerbin time, just because I don't want to do that on the dark side of the moon. No, let's just go for a landing right now, right here in the middle of nowhere. We're landing this thing before I can change my mind. Oh dear. This is not good. Ah, that was not enough thrust. Well, we landed. I significantly overestimated the abilities of the engine that was on this to stop this spacecraft fully loaded with fuel. Alright, well, we're here, we might as well do the science. Alright, so there's a rescue mission in the future. Let's send off what we can. Dust is getting everywhere. That's not the same message it showed me a minute ago. Review report. There we go. You start to say something dramatic and poignant about the plight of Kerbal kind in this grand universe, only to be cut off by random radio chatter that the situation is nominal. Alright, let's store the data we have. And jump off. And we have a Kerbal on the surface of the moon. And he's going to be staying there for quite some time. So, yeah. Congratulations to our first Mooner colonist, Bob Kerman. Let's go ahead and plant that flag, get that money. Let's go ahead and take a surface sample here. Or, sorry, that's the EVA report. Keep that. And let's take the surface sample, because that's worth a ton. Mostly basaltic rocks. Fascinating. Let's climb back aboard the capsule real quick. Yoink. Okay, Bob, I hope you're comfortable, because you're going to be staying here a while. I'll try to send some, like, a bigger room or something, if I can't get a rescue down to you in time. We'll be back, Bob, don't worry. Someone will come get you before long. In the meantime, let's spend all that hard-earned science we have before we start worrying about our rescue mission. What can we get with that? That's a bunch of the module stuff. What is that? Ideally, we need about 200 more science to get all the stuff we want in this tree. And to rescue Bob. Let's see what contracts we have available now. Active. Data from space around Kerbal. Dang it! I lost that, didn't I? Alright, so I've picked up a couple of new contracts. We need to do some science data from space around Kerbal. I grabbed that because we should be able to get that. Or, actually, that's the one I had from the beginning. Science data from space around Minmus is the one I just grabbed because we should be able to get that on our way to doing. Return to Kerbal from a Minmus orbit, which is our next super easy one. So let's go ahead and fire a ship up to Minmus and bring it back safely. Save. Alright, so this one's pretty simple. It's based on the KeoSat-1 launcher, so we've got the 2 boosters and the central stage. The boosters will run out shortly before the central stage, and the central stage will drop as well. They're not feeding into each other, so this one's going to be slightly inefficient launch, just because I kind of like the idea. I like this style launcher a little bit, just because it's a little more in tune with what we do in real life. We'll save the super efficient launches for later when we're tight on money. And we've also got this lovely upper stage, which should be enough to get us to Minmus after it gets us into orbit at least. And worst case scenario, we're just doing a flyby, but I'm also prepared to stick around in orbit if we've still got enough delta V for that. Got a couple of science things inside the service bay, but we've also got a materials bay, a couple of goo canisters, and we're going to be bringing Roger is going to be coming along on this one. Hope he's not nervous. Last scientist who went up never came back. At least he hasn't yet. He's still up there somewhere. Alright, let's save. Roll that out to the launch pad. Launching in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Go! That was purely my own hesitation there. Not any sort of failure of the game. Okay, so we've got a little over 8 days until my window to travel to Minmus comes up. And you can see Minmus in the distance here thanks to the Distant Object Enhancement mod, which we've had running for a couple of episodes now. This is the first time I've really gotten to see what it looks like in active use when when you've got the sun or Kerbin in the picture, it kind of dims the skybox in the background. That's Jewel here. But when you're just looking out at space, it looks spectacular, and then it dims the skybox dynamically as you look back. That's really neat. That's a lovely mod. The mods we're using right now will be in the description below the video. And that's going to do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. We got a lot done today. We planted our first semi-permanent moon habitat that definitely wasn't a failed landing. That was totally on purpose. So next episode, we got to try and rescue Bob and try and get Roger on a slingshot past Minmus. So that'll be fun. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. My name's Elio Dare, AzerAngel17 on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. I am just me on YouTube. I don't have my AzerAngel17 name there. But you can always find me in all those places. I'm also AzerAngel17 on Steam and Xbox Live. So drop by and say hi, and have a great day.